today is Marty Weintraub. Marty is the founder and evangelist of aimClear, an international online marketing agency dominant in audience targeting. After piloting aimClear to an Inc. 500 status as CEO, he's now focused on guiding aimClear's extensive training programs, defining agency vision, writing, speaking, networking, and leading industry studies. Marty was recently named the U.S. Search Personality of the Year. That's pretty cool. This prestigious award recognizes a talented and inspiring practitioner who has revolutionized search industry in the United States. Described as not your typical agency type, a social media maverick and more innovator than follower, it is Marty's personality and drive to lead the industry standards that has allowed aimClear to become an internationally recognized for its work in psychographic targeting, search engine marketing, and social media. Marty enjoys camping, canoeing, fishing, and patronizing with James Beard Award-winning restaurants and fine wine. Please welcome Marty to the stage.
Good morning. That's not very enthusiastic. Good morning. Yeesh, this is like my third time in Vegas in 4 weeks, and I'm back twice more for different conferences in the next 3 weeks with Chicago and Dallas in between, and I just came from a 3-day writing sabbatical on Bainbridge Island. Hi. Wow, I'm excited about this because for one thing, we work in the car industry with some really interesting clients, and so I'm going to show you information today that we've never presented in public and that I think you will probably want to download and use for yourself. I'd picture the whole first 43 minutes of this presentation as just kind of really fun marketing stuff, and then at the end there's targeting that you're going to want to take and use, I think. Whether you're in the aftermarket industry, whether you sell cars, no matter how you're associated with this industry, there's crazy-ass new targeting available for you to use. But first, I think I'm going to take off Google Glass. Otherwise, I'm going to be hearing text messages the whole time. Okay. And if anybody would like to see Google Glass afterwards, I'm happy to show it to you. I'm going to stick around for a little while before I leave town. Great. You ready? How many people were up too late last night? Nobody? How many people it was really hard to get up this morning? Me. Okay. So let's see if I can get this to click. Great. So just to run through what we're going to talk about today, it's going to be a little more tactical than a normal keynote would be, just because you have a day to do this. And I understand that this is the morning keynote, so we need to be conceptual, and we need to dance around the big topics without really saying how to do anything, but we're not going to do that. We're going to be tactical today, so this is going to be a bit more tactical. We're going to talk about the absolute cluster F that's taken over our industry in the last year. I'm going to ask you some questions about how you market and if you're paying attention to some things ranging from flavors of retargeting, how many people here know what retargeting is? Okay, so how many people here have never heard of retargeting? Okay, good. That tells me the continuum of people that are here. We're going to talk about psychographics. Has anybody here heard of psychographics? Dude. Crazy. I wrote a book in 2011 called Killer Facebook Ads that I think was the first book to really address it as pertains to targeting for commerce in these channels. I'm going to talk about content, what content is in this age, and how you use it to make money. Raise your hands if it's not your job to send somebody a bucket of money at the end of the day. Right, this is about making money. And then I'm going to give you an auto industry psychographic targeting construction kit. It's going to be a blog post. I'm not going to put all the stuff in the blog post that I'm showing you today, so you've got goodies. I'm going to make this presentation available to the SEMA people so you can download it and use it. Some of it is copy and paste targeting. If you reach out to me afterwards, I'll give you copy and paste targeting. So you could use some of this without having to recreate it. Okay, are you ready? Anybody ready to sell some stuff? Yes? Good. So first of all, the road is littered with marketers who suck now because they don't know what to do completely. We call it a talent correction. There's a talent correction. That's because anybody who's capable of building a big marketing system right now is upside down, because it takes, if you teach marketing in a college, you're kind of screwed because it's changing so very fast that they can't crank out people fast enough. That's what some agencies look like right now. That's what some in-house marketers look like right now. I speak all over the world. I keynoted Online Retailer in Sydney and SMX in Sydney, two different trips this year, and on the second trip, they're even writing about it in backwash places. CMOs are overwhelmed. It's a switch. It's a complicated jumble. It's a complicated jumble. Marketing, it's really hard. Processes that accumulate haphazardly. Sound familiar yet? Does to me. I run an agency and I see that. And most marketers are unprepared to handle the information that's coming their way. There's a talent correction, and if you think you're just going to keep your marketing job because you're cool, because you're nice, that's not going to happen. You have to study and you have to understand what's happening out there. I run an agency that's dedicated to staying current in this stuff, and it's hard for us to do it. So if you're like a solo marketer, it's really hard. Big data is what, how many people here have heard big data? Big data. How many people know what the F big data is? Right? What is it? Well, big data is basically whatever I say it is, but I'd like to define big data in this context as something that helps me make money, selling what we sell. Big data, I'm going to show you what I believe big data is in your industry. And also, it's really hard to know all the stuff that's happening in marketing. Like, if you're the type of person that wakes up in the morning and make lists of what you do not know, give up, because you won't keep up. Strategically, in this age of online marketing, what's most important is to know what you don't know and know the parts you need to know. And what's really wacky-ass about that, wacky-ass, wacky-dash-ass. Wacky-dash-ass, I can't believe I just said that. Wacky-ass about that is if you miss one thing, then your competitor could wipe you out. I know that sounds all dire and stuff, but literally, how many people here sell cars? Anybody? Nobody? Yes? Well, if you're not worried about Google, then you're asleep at the switch, because they're going to eat your lunch. They are. Google's going to eat your lunch. And, of course, anybody here work with a team of marketers, right? Yes, there's some teams here. And any agencies? Yeah, well, here's the deal. Figuring out yourself is hard, but keeping training programs in your shop is really hard. Any in-house marketing teams here? In-house marketing teams? It's so hard. Like, it's hard to hire, it's hard to train, it's hard to know what to train, it's hard to know what to hire. Sounds all dire. And it's not really clear exactly who's going to be doing what. Like, there's data companies that are coming in and taking things that used to belong to one group of practitioners. Like, it's just not really clear. And also, there's so many vendors. They're contacting us every day. Vendor. But my great question is, what the hell do they all do? And how do I decide which ones are the important ones to me and my company? So hopefully, during this presentation, I'll give you some information that will help you make those choices. And just so you know, I'm going to breach protocol. If the keynote is before 10 a.m., I get to drink coffee. So everybody, cheers. Everybody take a breath. Have I scared you yet? Anybody afraid? Be afraid. And here's what's really crazy. Anybody here do AdWords advertising? Anybody here do AdWords? Well, Google has finally succeeded in making up keywords for us with this modified broad match thing. Like, I look at keyword research projects and stuff and I go, wow, there's so much missing, but there's not really, because Google has kind of seduced us into letting them make up keywords. And so one thing that's really important is that the most basic skill sets that are foundational to the online marketing industry are disappearing. Like, even to do a great keyword research project, which doesn't sound very sexy here, but here in Vegas about a week ago, I did a presentation at PubCon, which is an industry conference about keyword research, and I saw this whole generation of internet marketers as I explained the basic things that we did in 1998, just going, like that. So training in fundamentals is called for. And as we go through this stuff, the question I want you to ask yourself is, how hard are you willing to work? Like, how scared are you of not being relevant? How scared are you? How hard will you work? Right there is the map of exchanges. How many people here know what DSPs and exchanges are? Right. Okay, good. Well, basically, you can take certain targeting objects and push them out anywhere on the internet, anywhere users go, pretty much, like over 98%. So if they're reading CNN or the local newspaper or Off-Road magazine and those websites are selling their inventory, then I can push whatever targeting I want to them. Like That's pretty radical. Like, how many people here know about Facebook targeting? We're going to talk a lot about Facebook targeting today because there's amazing opportunities for you there. Well, think about Facebook targeting and the ability to do it anywhere on the internet. We're already doing that, like people are doing that. It's pretty amazing. You know about it because you know about retargeting. It takes a full-time person at an agency just to understand the universe of networks we can push ads to. So hopefully this will inspire you in thinking of how you can provide value. Okay, are you ready for the adventure now? I love this presentation. I did this one in London, at Search Engine Strategies London in March, something like this, but I've changed a lot of the information for your industry. So let me just ask you some questions. This is just a little checklist to see where you're at. Psychographics. Do you understand psychographics? We know about search. I'd like aftermarket custom auto mats for my Toyota, for my 63 Toyota, whatever I want, right? That's great. People are searching for it, and we all know about search inventory. I'm sure every single person here knows about search. But can you target people based on their occupations, the publications they read, their political views, their interests, their sexuality, their age, their gender, their affiliation with professional organizations, their college degree? There's so many things. There's so many things you can target people. You think about psychographics probably when you think about Facebook targeting, but that also exists in LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, and then everywhere on the internet using third-party data providers, which we will discuss. In 2008, I spoke at Search Engine Strategies New York. The presentation was called The Impending Social Targeting Revolution. It was the last talk of the day. There were 12 people in a room that was this size, and the old guard search engine optimization experts were outside drinking beer going, social media. And I'm telling the group in the room, this is your new job. This is everybody's new job. In 5 years, everybody will be doing this. You are like the audiences we build in social. You're not many people, but you're exactly the right people. And you will be the evangelical seeds of all this. So in your industry, in our discussion of psychographics today, I'm just going to tell you that the targeting that has been made available to you to sell your aftermarket things or your cars or whatever is so radical that I think you'll leave here kind of scratching your head about it. This is your new job. In 5 years, everybody will be doing this way. The $2,500 million car dealerships that I work with do it this way, and you will be doing it this way too. And what's really hot-ass radical is that you could do it yourself, pretty much. I'm here to sell you how you could use this data to do it yourself. So first, competitive intelligence. How many people here really understand their competitors? Like really go out and dissect their competitors? This is an application of big data. I typed in partsgeek.com in auto, and then it brought up algorithmic competitors, and it showed me their top ads and their top keywords. Get out of thinking you know who your competitors are right now, because you don't. You think you know, and you may know some of them. You may know a majority of them, but you don't know all of them. You don't know the one that's about to eat your lunch. You really don't. And so there's tools out there like SpyFu Recon, which is in this presentation, where you could type in the domain and it will tell you your algorithmic competitors. What is an algorithmic competitor? It's a company that on paper competes with you with search pay-per-click, with banner ads, and with SEO. Like I want to know my algorithmic competitors. As we get a little farther, you'll see why. You literally can get into overlap. Here we're looking at, I can't see it as well. Maybe here, right, I can see it here. Partsbin.com, partstrain.com, and PartGeek. That's literally the intersection of the keywords that they market to with search pay-per-click. So I can click on that little intersection in the upper left of there where they all intersect, and I can see what we bid on the same. And I can also dig in and look at what they bid on that I don't, which is really cool. That's big data that matters to me, that really matters to me. So SEO, as we continue down our checklist of things we need to pay attention to as marketers, like what is this new SEO? How many people here are completely chapped that we don't get to see organic keywords anymore? Like, oh my, how many people don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, so it used to be that when Google sent you traffic and you didn't buy it, you could see what the keyword was, right? And over the last 2 years, they've been gradually phasing that out. And under the guise of satisfying people's concerns about the NS freaking A, and they took those keywords the rest of the way away, as well as withdrew their primary ambassadors to the search marketing industry. Now it's more perfunctory. Now it's just what they pretend to be involved with us. But Google, they don't say that whole thing about not being evil anymore. They just don't say it. They just stop saying it. And by the way, they never said they weren't evil. They just said they weren't going to act like they were evil. But Google doesn't send us keywords. And you know what? It might be for privacy, but here's the rip about that. You could still buy it. If you buy AdWords, you could still see the keywords. So privacy doesn't mean crap if you're paying Google money. And the fact that they took away the organic keywords, visibility for free traffic to your website for keywords, not only did it neuter the marketing efforts of many, but it also, they sell more AdWords. Perfect. Just exactly perfect. Social signals are really important to the new SEO. How many people here use Google+? You have to be insane not to use Google+, because it amounts to SEO. Facebook shares and likes, Twitter, different channels. LinkedIn is pulled into Google search engine results. Google+ is pulled into Google search engine results, of course. Social is a big part of SEO. That's really weird, right? But it's true. There's 2 major studies that I would refer to, one by Moz, M-O-Z, search for search engine ranking factors, Moz. There's another one from my friend Marcus Tobler in Germany, a company called Searchmetrics. Nobody has ever really been able to prove that search causes, that social media signals cause search engine rankings for free. But there's massive correlation. It's that chicken egg thing. Correlation, causation, correlation, causation. The bottom line is that social does dramatically affect search. It is causation, it is correlation. Like when Google says that social is not a ranking factor so much for search, they're talking about unpersonalized search, but everybody in this room and in the whole world gets personalized search. So it's bunk. Does anybody here have all of their Google free traffic just kind of go away in the last 6 months? Anybody? Good. Nice, clean auto industry players. The reality is that the link building methods, you all know that link building is important for search engine optimization. The reality is that link building had a lot of things that used to be cool, most notably buying links for organic prominence to show up in Google rankings. Like literally, Google just went, okay, you're done with that, and cut them out. In 2009, they said no more buying links, and then since 2009, it's been a pogrom. How many here know the word pogrom? That's a word that describes going door to door and killing people and ethnic cleansing. Like Google's been on a link pogrom for 3-4 years, and now finally they just went, okay, you're done. Right, so there's an entire industry that has come up around cleaning out your links. Link disavow, where you go to Google, oh, I didn't mean to have the Indian porn site linked to me to get me higher in the rankings. Didn't mean to. Also, it used to be very important if you sent a link from one site to another, if you wanted to build the destination site, to form the link on words, on anchor text that was descriptive of the destination. Now, it's kind of important not to. It's important to use synonyms, right? Synonyms surrounding that. International, anybody here sell internationally? I would assume you do. Yeah, international constructs are changing. I like, the resource I like is called Web Certain in York, Web Certain. They're pretty amazing at international constructs. Local and mobile, OMG, a huge amount of traffic is coming from local and mobile. And are you really up to speed? Does your site play really well in a mobile browser? And then we all know about meta tags and meta descriptions and the long dead meta keywords, which actually very, very slightly matter in some quarters. Now again, title tags and all that, but there's new ones. There's Open Graph that says how our site plays with Facebook. There's Schema, which is industry specific, of which there are a number of automobile industry constructs. If you do SEO and you don't know the word schema, then start Googling now. Okay. the new SEO. That was a one-page rant on SEO is what it was. And keywords are gone, WTF. Like, that's what I think about that. Okay, everybody, let's flip off Google right now. Here you go. Okay, so I wrote 2 books. I can do that now. The antidote for no keywords is big data. This is a SpyFu recon report. It's big data. Let's just take in all these words. Okay, big data, competitive, keyword, traffic share. It says for keywords which websites, including my own, are getting the traffic, and I don't need my analytics to do it. If you don't use SpyFu Recon, you might want to check it out. It's not very expensive. Look at what you're looking at. That's a group of keywords, and that's who's getting the traffic for them using ISP data and other data. It's radical. And big data lets us set more sophisticated goals about SEO, like where are we paying the most and also ranking #1 for the free stuff? Or what keywords are my competitors bidding on that I get organically? Where are we paying the most and ranking #1 anyway? What keywords do my competitors rank for that I don't even buy pay-per-click for? Big data will not only solve the keyword question, but it'll solve more difficult questions. Budget share. This is also SpyFu. Like, this is tracking my competitor's budget in pay-per-click. That's pretty radical. Anybody here ever have to go get a budget from your boss for pay-per-click? You go, oh, my competitors are spending 20 times. That's a takeaway right there. Like, that's a really good way to get your budget. Retargeting. For those who don't know what that means, the user comes to my website on any page for a reason. Maybe it's a product detail page, or maybe it's the shopping cart, or maybe it's the home page. And I set a cookie, and then everywhere on the internet they go, I follow them for some reason with a daily impression cap, meaning only so many times per day, because we don't want to abuse our audience. Well, okay, maybe a little, but not too much. You've all seen it. You're shopping for a sauna for your backyard, and the next place you go on the internet is Facebook, and you see a freaking sauna ad. Awesome. Awesome. And the companies you're most familiar with that do that would be like AdRoll or Retargeter or Triget or Criteo or those. But you could think about retargeting just a little bit deeper. First, there's product retargeting, like I just said. You see the ad for the classic logo car mat, and then you go to the carpet car mat page on somebody's website, on your website, and then the next place you go, you're on Yelp or something, and you see an ad for a classic logo car mat. It doesn't have anything to do with Yelp, but you do. You were just in that place. The bottom line is that when you do that kind of product catalog retargeting, you increase your conversion by a percentage point. That's what it would look like, say, if you're reading the newspaper in my hometown, which is Duluth, Minnesota. It's where I live. Another type of retargeting is process retargeting. It's a 3-stage funnel. First, they look at the stuff, then they go into the shopping cart, then they give their credit card and buy it. So if they bail on stage 4 before they do the conversion, the next place they go on the internet, you serve them a sweeter offer or say, buy my stuff. Keywords, retargeting keywords. You can only do this easily using Google Analytics and Google Display Network. It's called remarketing. You do it in Google Analytics. If you don't do retargeting in Google, that's where, say, your best keyword in the whole world. Everybody here has your money keywords, the ones that win all the time. And money keywords are like lakefront property. They're not making any new ones. People are finding new ways to search for it, but there's not more people searching for things unless there's some kind of cultural or technological phenomena. So what you need to do is you need to get more out of your most important keywords. So if your big keyword is aftermarket 12-volt auto heaters, that's what you do, then you follow everyone around in Google's network who did not convert and get another 2 to 3 points of conversion if you're good. Remember to segment the messaging. Segment the messaging. So it's the next thing that you say to them, because they've already been to your site once, right? They come to your site for a keyword, they don't buy, you follow them to get a little more out of that awesome keyword. Psychographics, dear to my heart. This is a really cool segment. We're going to get deep into psychographics. This audience, they purchased a Hummer 37 to 48 months ago. They're auto parts buyers by their history, and they like to buy stuff online. So that's a pretty fantastic thing if you make stuff for Hummers that's a part that people need after like 4 years or something. It's an amazing audience, and there's only 13,800 of them in America, and I can target them in Facebook. Awesome, awesome. Follow those people around. If you get them to your website, follow them. So nothing has really changed about marketing. It's just about getting more out of what you already do. Look at your keywords. Oh, OEM retargeting. Here's an auto industry trick. If the best traffic that ever comes to your auto dealership site comes from Honda.com and they will only let you send it to the homepage, then set up conditional retargeting where you only retarget Honda OEM visitors. Follow them around, but only locally in your area, and you will make money. Because a high percentage of the OEM traffic asks for information and buys cars. An even higher percentage doesn't do anything, but you could squeeze more percentage out of your best traffic, because that's some of the best traffic. Your best landing pages, your best branded keywords, your best unbranded keywords. Also, most people, or many people, don't really know that there's amazing AdWords inventory inside of YouTube. You could put call to action overlays on other people's videos and send them to your website, and it works really great. Make sure you use YouTube. Mobile, your stuff has to work in mobile. It just has to work in mobile. Working on an iPad is not working in mobile. iPad is more like a laptop. Mobile is more like mobile, right? It has to work in mobile. Like if you've got your big landing page right there on your desktop and for tablets, make sure that you have it for mobile with a big ass call me button on the top. Call me now. Okay. Content. Content. How many people here have heard, oh, you have to do content marketing, right? You have to do content marketing. Well, that's really not any different. I mean, it's not been any different since people were drawing things on the wall in caves to get things done. But let's talk about the content ecosystem. Why do you need content? You need content because you have to sell shit. That's the first reason you need content. And some products are more, they require some explanation, right? You need content for SEO because you want to show up in search engines. That's why you need content. And you also need content because it draws people together who want to know you, who like you and follow you. Remember that liking and following and all that is important for SEO, so that's kind of an SEO objective as well as a communications one. So let's talk about what content is, because there's a little confusion about that. I've been confused about it. I've been in whole meetings with gigantic clients where they're talking about content and I'm thinking, oh, their blog. Right? But really what they meant was a Facebook wall post. Who does your content? Who does your social content? And so I've learned to think about content a little different. Content is definitely the car decor blog, right? That's definitely, or that's a landing page actually. Anybody here from car decor? It's kind of a bad landing page. We could help it. But this is good. This is girly car accessories. I don't buy a lot of car accessories, and I shop for car accessories. It's car accessories, and this came up like number 4 in my personalized results. That's pretty cool. I've got 2 daughters. Like, they couldn't have targeted me better. So that's content, right? Let's see. Last time I checked, a landing page is content. It's content. It's siloed content, so there's not so many places for people to go. A Facebook wall post, that's content, right? For this body kit, right? Or a tweet, that's content. Start thinking about content as objects that you distribute, and you'll understand. YouTube, that's definitely content, like learning to buff your car and stuff. Google+, that's definitely content. So you got to open your mind about what content means. Content basically means anything that I put anywhere on the internet. And what's really interesting is that you could have extremely high investment content that doesn't do as much for your business as lower investment content that you take a little time with. Like if you go to facebook.com/aimClear and you look at the post I did promoting this conference presentation, you'll see that a lot of thought, a team went into that wall post. Here's what you want from content. You want traffic to your site. You want badass traffic to your site. You want to sell things. The word attributable means that they might come to my site. They might not buy it now, but I know that common pathways to conversion means that in a couple weeks they will, or tomorrow they will. I want attributable conversion. I want links from bloggers and stuff. I want social signals for SEO. I want likes and follows and shares. And I don't want search engine algorithm updates like Panda and Penguin and Hummingbird, ew, to take me down. And I also want bloggers to find my stuff. I want media people to find my stuff. So let's talk about social content distribution for conversion, SEO, and friendship. Let's make no mistake, content is everything. It holds it all together. How many people here get so much from SEO that they don't have to buy AdWords? Nice, good. Open fire. No, just kidding. Well, the reality is that most of us need to extend our search engine optimization by buying search pay-per-click. And it's like that with content too. How many people here get all they want out of their content? They sell so much from their content, they don't need to do anything else. Pretty much nobody, because social distribution doesn't exist anymore. It's not free. So we extend SEO with search pay-per-click, and we extend content with social pay-per-click. If you're in organic only, you don't want to pay any search engines or social community anything, you're kind of screwed right now, because there's not much SEO anymore, like not much above the fold that's commercial, though some of you are exceptions because the products you sell are so long tail. There's limited social distribution for free, and it's easy to invest a lot in content and not make any money. We should be familiar with this because they took high-paying SEO away from us a while ago. That's a search for contact lenses. That's all paid. It's all paid. Right, they took it away years ago. Sorry to go back for that. Social distribution, like, you know, I want to put it on my Facebook wall and I want everybody in the world to see it. Like, meow, like that, all gone. I love that banner ad. I ran that banner ad in trade publications and got like a 3% click-through ratio to a landing page that said, if we can get you to click on this kitty, what do you think we can do for your social media program? Facebook, paid. That's Facebook paid in my S4. That's a beautiful animal. It's the whole screen, right? Of course, they do say it's sponsored. I mean, that's really what I look at first. There's some transparent information design. Twitter, the sacred Twitter, the holy, sacred, organic channel that nobody will screw with. Paid. Paid. LinkedIn, the LinkedIn, paid. That's all paid. Same thing. I mean, I don't even notice that shit when I look at it, the sponsored part. So we live in a world where they go, right, we start at the center, we are the hub, and we push out on spokes to every organic channel, and the whole world sees it, and we have distribution. Except if you're not willing to pay, it looks like that. That's the great 2013 online marketing buzzkill right there. If you don't know how to invest strategically in paid media, right? That's where this concept of paid organic amplification comes in. Search ads, I mean, they're pretty straight up. They go, yeah, this is an ad. Ads by Google, like they pretty well tell you. But social, they're a lot trickier. Like, they don't really look paid a lot of the time. They look organic. Like, social media platforms have learned to slip users the organic fish like that. What's really interesting is that no channel, network, platform, community, engine, site, tool, anything has ever given marketers something above the fold that was easily attainable with widespread distribution that made marketers a lot of money that they didn't take away. It makes sense because that's how they make their money. And so the more we enjoy free things, the more they take them away. And it's a breath of fresh air that they finally let us buy things that look real, right? So let's look at some case studies here. I'm going to use Facebook page post ads, which promotes a Facebook wall post into somebody's feed and mobile feed, but not the right-hand sidebar. Though I think in this case I actually did. There's some sidebar data in here. Anybody here use page post ads? I'm going to give you badass targeting for page post ads today. Badass. Okay, great. We also use Twitter and LinkedIn and others, but I only have so much time, so we're going to look at first, let's go, the main takeaway is make awesome content. I mean, I'm pretty sick of hearing that. Like, I just want to go, make great content. I know, make great content. What the F, right? But the bottom line is if you can't make content to where when people come to the content, good things happen, this will not help you. And I can't spend another hour talking about what makes great content, but I know you know, and I know you can find out. But let's just say that the green line is the conversion increase that correlates with the visits increase from paid organic distribution. The idea is to get more out of what works. That's a theme here, right? Get more out of what works. More money, because conversion is my center of white hot light, links, friendship, chatter, social. So let's take Facebook page post ads for a spin. We're going to put something on our wall and we're going to distribute it with paid things that look organic inside of Facebook. So look at this. This is a well-known brand in your industry, doing only free things on their Facebook wall 5 times a week. They have about 6,000 followers because they just started when this was done. And the green line is all the impressions inside of Facebook. Remember that impressions can lead to traffic back to the site, or etc. And you'll see the blue line is all the, that's just the organic impressions, who sees it, and the purple line is the viral reaction. That's people engaging, liking, commenting, following, talking about it, doing things like that. So pay attention to that red box right there, because that's the time period in question. It's a 2-week time period. So this is where we dial in paid organic amplification. It's statistically insignificant now, those 2,000 impressions a day, because now to the right we're up to like 3 million impressions a day. That's pretty cool, except don't be too seduced by that, because I can buy that reach and it doesn't mean anybody gives a rat about it. So I'm just buying page post ads and I'm distributing it to psychographics inside of Facebook. You can bullshit reach, but you cannot bullshit the reaction to it. So you'll see that the likes and all the good things that are happening from that page post ad are scaling faster than the reach lift that I purchased. That's great marketing right there. That means the targeting is great. It means the way I put it on my wall vis-a-vis the packaging is great. Here's the lift. People talking about it, which is the viral piece, 14,000%. The total reach, almost 3,000%. The likes are scaling radically. And I mean, everybody make rocket ship noises and explosions. 300 bucks. The team of people that created that content cost 17 times that for the 2-week period, just to create the content. How can you afford not to do that stuff? Like, you just have to do it. Like, I'm always hiring people to do pay-per-click, so I do this, I put it on the blog, I put it on our Facebook wall, which is what the middle one looks like. Upper is the right-hand rail, the right-hand sidebar. Then this is what the mobile ad looks like. And then I target it to 500,000 people who like AdWords, pay-per-click, or Kenshu, which is a software for pay-per-click. Look at the result of this. 307 people went to the website at a cost of 88 cents a click. That's pretty cool. The page post likes and the page likes and the other stuff is free. Or I could go, wow, I really like what that bar chart looks like, and the blended cost per action is 33 cents. It's always some combination of doing something in the social channel or going external, 53 link clicks external, or it's always some mix of that. It only works every single time. It always works. Oh, also, since you can distribute to people who are bloggers and stuff, it's how you get links. Oh, and also, this is 26 sites that we work with over the last couple of years, organic traffic keywords to the site. We weren't really very affected by any of the algorithm updates. So y'all kind of understand the concept of distributing like that, right? Where you choose a psychographic segment, you put it on your Facebook wall, and you distribute it to get people to engage in social and go external to your content. Are you with me about that? Okay, this is the part that I've been looking forward to. Well, first of all, there's a whole exhibit at SEMA that's just new stuff, amazing new stuff. I'm sorry that I will not be here to visit those exhibitors. But so if you want people who know about it, you could easily pull a list of all the newspapers in the United States by circulation, or all the publications. Like, here's using Google to find on and off-road magazines. Here, you could target all these roles inside of Facebook, and these are these are people who work at major newspapers but are into Germain Racing or Hendricks Motorsports or Swan Racing Company. If you work for the Wall Street Journal and you're into #Swan Racing Company, you might not be the person who could write about a very important new product that came to market, but you have latte with that person. There's 682,000 people in America who like blogging things like TypePad or Blogger, right? And there's 57 million people who are likely auto parts buyers, and you can match that up to find a certain amount of bloggers who are buying auto parts. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I have 10 minutes to show you this construction kit to build targeting for yourself inside of Facebook. You ready? How many people here know what Datalogics is? How many people here know what Axiom is? Wow, the rest of you are going to be so freaked out. Okay, the automotive industry targeting grid for distributing content inside of Facebook is aftermarket, sales and service, B2C, direct-to-consumer targeting, B2B distributor targeting. You could go get your distribution deals by targeting the people who work at the distribution companies. Auto intenders, people who are going to buy cars in either a year or 128 days. People who own cars of a certain age, make, value, category, length of ownership. Customer clarifiers, like if they're rich or like to buy things online with their credit cards. And also media, people who write for major trade publications. I mean, wouldn't you all like to just have that in their feeds in Facebook right now, looking like it was just an organic thing? So I won't be able to be too detailed with you about this, but I'm going to take you through it so that you could work with this afterwards. This is really technical. It's not normal in a keynote to be quite this tactical, but I just want all of you to have this, because if I was the marketing director for every single one of your companies, I would be all over this. The targeting inventory is roughly divided into Facebook native targeting, which is just Facebook targeting, which is interests, workplace, occupation, age, gender, education, where they live. Facebook partner data, which is other companies they've made deals with. That's Datalogics and Axiom, but you can target it from inside of Facebook, and you need to use Power Editor. Power Editor, it's a tool that Facebook gives you. And there's also third-party data for everywhere on the internet that I wish I could go into with you right now, but just know that what I'm going to show you for Facebook, you can pretty much do everywhere on the internet, and not just Facebook. And Facebook is a little more than 25% of the internet in America. You could layer these interests I'm going to show you in certain constructs. You can layer Facebook native targeting with either Axiom or Datalogics. Or you could do multiple layers of Datalogics, multiple layers of Axiom. You could also layer Facebook precise interest with Facebook economic clarifiers. That's a little airy-fairy. Internet-wide third-party targeting. So let's take a spin of the kind of stuff that you could work with. This is so crazy for your industry. I can't even believe it. Like, I can't believe it. It's an early adopter's opportunity, I believe. Okay, so here's 45,000 people. These are likely auto service buyers. Remember this chart right here where I can match this up with other stuff. These are the big pieces where I can layer them together with certain rules. That's 45 million people, and the data comes from dealer services departments or repair outlets. People like you that are big companies are selling their data. Aftermarket, these are people who purchase their current vehicle at different times. So remember, we can crunch all these things together to form segments, and I'll give you examples of them. Datalogics aftermarket. Here's Datalogics long-range intenders. These are people who are going to buy a car within a year. This is awesome freaking data. You know, if you have to brand your company. And this is long-range intenders in general. Now it gets a little crazy. These are auto category intenders. 8.7 million people who are going to buy like a pickup truck or a small size SUV or a luxury sedan. You can find the bloggers who are about to buy a fancy ass car. Pretty cool. Let's see. This is Datalogics. I was up at like 3 in the morning building this chart for you. These are people who are going to lease a car. They're going to lease a car within 180 days. The data comes from 50 states, DMVs, OEMs, and other dealers. So you have category intenders like SUVs, and you have model intenders too. This is Aftermarket, these are people who already own the cars. So you can take people who already own the cars and have owned them for so long, right? People who own the cars, category owners. These are people who are brand owners, right? They own these certain brands. You can just target them in Facebook, mashed up with other data. This is length of ownership. It's unbelievably powerful for y'all to mash up length of ownership, the kind of car or the category of car they drive, and then other interests that further clarify. I'll show you further clarification. This is price intenders. This is every piece of partner targeting data inside of Facebook. This is price intenders. These are people who are going to buy a $50,000 car, period. Whoa, boom. Give me some of that. And then you can qualify it using other Datalogics data, like they're DIYers, they do it themselves, right? So they're gonna buy a Cadillac and they do it themselves, or they have a 20-year-old Hummer and they do stuff themselves, or they're just into cars, or they're gadgets. Crazy ass, really amazing. Here's Axiom. That's the other major data provider that gives us car stuff inside of Facebook. They don't tell us how long. And I think this is better data. Axiom data is really amazing. It just says they're likely to buy a new Lincoln. They won't tell us how long that is. My experience is 30 to 60 days inside of Axiom. Just 68 million freaking people who have shown the signs. Not all of them will buy cars, but a lot of them will. And the same way as with Datalogics, you can target Axiom auto intenders by category or by model. That's pretty cool. One thing, you cannot mash this up with length of ownership. You can only layer Datalogics within Datalogics, and you can only layer Axiom within Axiom, but you can mash either of them up with Facebook, which is really cool. Here's qualifiers inside of Axiom. This is really neat. High volume, low end department store buyers, they're electronics buyers, high end retail buyers, they're educators, they're professionals, they're clerical, they're financial professionals, they're self-employed. So you can target auto intenders with these additional qualifiers. This is pretty cool. You could mash it up with whether they live in $1 million house or not. That's pretty cool. Or they're credit card users, or they use upscale department store cards. Love that. This is inside of Facebook. This is targeting people inside of Facebook who are interested in gazillions of different specific cars. Lots and lots and lots of different cars. These car interests right here, you can mash up with either Axiom or Datalogics. Anything in Facebook can be mashed up using the AND operator. They're into Mercedes-Benz CLS class, and they intend to buy a $50,000 car coming up. That's pretty cool. Think of the accessories things here. When you take Facebook interesting like off-roading or racing or four-wheeling or Hot Rod Magazine or Carcraft Magazine or the International Hot Rod Association, that's pretty insane to mash that in as a clarifying layer against Axiom layers of data. And you can do that in Facebook today with Power Editor and distribute your content. And remember that lift, that 10,000% distribution lift for $300? We'd have to be insane as an auto industry not to be all over that stuff. Here's more clarifiers. They're interested in indie pit crew. By the way, workplaces, these are people that work for auto parts warehouses or Auto Trader, and you can clarify those by things like procurement professional or buyer. Like you literally can market your stuff to the people that buy for these big distributors. Almost done. More clarifiers inside of Facebook that can be mashed into either Datalogics or Axiom data for content distribution. You know, if they're interested in Pound Richard Childress racing, and now Datalogics layers, right? Or you could target people who work for these racing companies and work in the pits if you want. So here's some examples. Older car brand owner, likes Carcraft magazine. They buy another one, buys auto parts, owns a mid-age car, reads off-road magazines, writes for a major newspaper, follows major pit crews. That's pretty cool. They're in market for a Chevy truck or a $50,000 whatever. They hunt, they fish, or they camp. They live in the mountains, and they're high-usage credit card online buyers. Or they own a new BMW. They're gadget geeks. They like geocaching games, and they buy a lot online. Like, take this construction kit, look at what is possible is in layering these and put together the personas for your thing. Professionals who work at auto accessory distributors or work at OEM players, or pros who work on racing crews mashed in with other data. Are you getting the possibilities of this? And it's out there, it's in Facebook. You can do it yourself, honestly, this afternoon using Power Editor, which is just a little Chrome tool that Facebook will give you for Facebook ads. So you can read about social distribution in aimClear blog, which is where I blog. It's my company's blog. There is an article called The Great 2013 Social Media Buzzkill and How Early Adopters Dominate that goes a little farther. Recently there was an article in Forbes magazine about these techniques noted as such that I think you would enjoy. I have 2 books, both of them sellers in their categories on the Wiley Brothers label. I think you would enjoy them. And thank you so much for letting me rant at you for almost exactly 1 hour.